This is the natural question for me to ask at the outset. Where have all the Democrats gone?
Well, I think in the simplest possible terms, a lot of what our book is about is tracing the evolution of the Democratic Party from the late part of the 20th century to where we are today. And a running theme, demographically at least, is the sort of detachment of the working class from the Democratic Party. In other words,
Right.
over time, the Democratic Party becomes less and less of a working class party and more of a party dominated by college-educated professionals and the like. So we have a couple of different parts of the book. The first part we call the Great Divide, which is about how the economy of the United States evolved in a certain way in the late 20th century that wound up basically, really negatively impacting, if not destroying, a lot of communities where working class people lived. And there was a general disjuncture between the fate of working class voters in that late 20th century development and that of the more educated, affluent part of the population, particularly those who lived in dynamic metropolitan areas that we called ideopolises. So, and that connects to another theme of the Great Divide, which isn't just about class, it's about geography.
Yeah.
A lot of areas of the country really do get left behind. There's vastly different economic fates for areas that are dependent on extractive, resource extraction, on farming, old industries that are,
Right.
sort of leaving the country or dying. And I think what happens is, while you can't blame the Democrats entirely for all these developments, obviously, some of it was going to happen anyway. They nevertheless bought into a number of policies around trade, around deregulation, and a number of other things, particularly sort of crowned by the China shock of the early 2000s, that were perceived by these working class voters, particularly white working class voters, as being inimical to their interests. That Democrats didn't really have their back anymore in
Right.
terms of their sort of actual economic welfare.